Hey guys, Clarksville Diggers. How you doing? This is going to be a quick one. This is about gear. And if you're going to be out in the woods, one important piece of gear I would advise is snake boots. They're a little bit costly. I think I got them for about 109 at Academy. But I tell you, it's a lot cheaper than an emergency visit at the hospital for a snake bite. So I would really advise, and y'all thinking about a good pair of snake boots, because there are snakes out there. And the areas where I go hunting a lot, there are copperheads and timber rattlers. So I'd rather have a pair of these than a hospital bill. My main focus today is belt gear. What I'm trying to do is lighten my load a little bit. My wife has blessed me with this shoulder pack, and I'm still going to have it, but it's going to be primarily aimed to water, food, a few little accessories that I don't really have to carry with me while I'm detecting. I can secure it somewhere or lay it in the ground or hang it from a tree. But basically it's going to be having a little bit of extra stuff, but it's something that I do not have to carry with me personally while I'm detecting, but to have it around. So good bag like this, or a little backpack for some accessory items, especially if you're going to be out in the field. You want to have plenty of water, but it's going to be hot this summer. So water is main priority. This is a little something that I made. I went to a military surplus and got one of these whale belts. I'm kind of used to the old school where you have the metal one where you twist and lock, but I couldn't find them. And the newer ones they have a secure plastic molded snap, and it's easy to take off. But what I done to this, I took some of my gear, and I installed it. I fixed it on. I took my gear bag. I've got another one of these, and I cut the straps. And I burnt some holes in the bottom and zip tied them, so it's always there. I can carry some of my cleaning tools, and then I can put my good finds in here. Little carabiner. What I've got here, it's actually a military dump bag for our used magazines. And when they're used up, you just drop them in. It does have a little elastic that keeps them from falling out. But you don't have to get anything. I'm just using this because I've got access to it. It's accessible. I've got plenty of gear like this. But it's good for trash. So I can keep my good stuff here, keep my trash in there. Pin pointers. You probably say, why do you have two of them? Well, there's always a chance that something could happen. And when you're out in the field, you want to have a backup. Right now, my backup is my TRX whites. It's very good, but my Garrett carrot stick is going to be my backup. I do have the new Garrett Z-Link, and that is going to be my primary, because that can connect through my Z-Link system and make things a little more quieter. So I'll do a little switch here. Everybody needs one of these, and I know all of y'all have one. I've got this secured. I got my sheaths secured to the little holes that are in the webbing. I burned a little hole through it, and I got it secured with zip tie, so it doesn't slide around. So everything is pretty much standard. You know, it's stationary, it's not going nowhere. I added this little pouch, and this is going to be my battery. I mean, for batteries and everything. As you see. It's not waterproof. I would probably advise you to find a waterproof pouch. And because if you're going to be in the creeks, there's a chance you might get wet. But I'll show that I'll put it on here if I don't trip and break my leg. I hope a little bit later today I'm going to go do a little detecting. I've got the storm coil for my AT-Max. I've kind of had it out a little bit, but to have it out publicly to scan, I haven't done that yet. So I might just hit the part just to see what we got. But see, I've got a lot of my gear that normally I'd have to carry in here that's got my water and everything. You remember how I used to have my pinpointers hooked on all on this side. So I can keep this and then I can put it down somewhere and leave it alone and come back to when I need it. But my immediate stuff that I do need, I've got it here. The weight distribution, if you create some kind of web belts, you know, it's more on your hips. It's easier to carry. The bag is great on my shoulder, but when working, it does kind of slide. There is a little belt attachment, but still that's a lot of weight on my shoulder. So this is going to work good. And it's really easy to make. It just takes a little bit of time and just, you know, a little imagination. But it's going to hold good. So I've got my batteries, my good find bag, my trash bag, and all my wet stuff is drains. Got my pinpointers. So I've got about everything I need. Everybody's got their cool hats. Even though I like my AT-Max hat, but I love my Pro, and I usually wear it a lot. Lowe's for I think about $12. They do have these that are great keeping the sun off of the back of your neck. And it's going to be hot summer, so I would advise it. Two, helps keep mosquitoes. I would advise too, you know, use a mosquito repellent. But there's nothing worse than getting a burnt neck, and these really help. If you don't have them, get knee pads. Save your knees. Knee replacements hurt. So that was just a little quick. I wanted to show you of what I had done, what I had created. And since I had a lot of my gear here, all it was just a little bit of time and little engineering. But it wasn't hard at all, but this is very functional. It doesn't go nowhere. Before, when I was having to put my stuff on, I had to take my belt off and slide things through and then wrap and snap other things to me. And I've got it here. And all I got to do is just snap it on. It's almost like a lineman two belt. But this is a military web belt. Very good. It's adjustable. You can move them around to fit your size. I did have to change it a little bit for me. So I just wanted to show you that and maybe give you some ideas. When it's hot, you're going to want to be lighter. You don't want a lot of stuff hanging all over you, especially when you're working your machine. It's best to have your weight distributed around your hips and have it evenly, and that way it makes it a better day. But it's going to be hot. Always keep water. Hydrate, key word. If you're going to be out in the bushes, snake boots. It's going to make your legs warm, but it's cheaper than a emergency visit for a snake bite, and they are out there. So that's about it. I just want to throw a little quickie out, and in a little while I'm going to take my AT Max with the Storm Coil, and we're going to just play with it a little bit. Then again, I might just decide to run down to this creek. It just depends. Just depends. It's going to be a hot day, and it's going to be too hot for the wife, so I may just stay locally. I still got to do a few more things around my house. So anyway, thank you for all the prayers for my wife. Things are slowly looking good. June 11th, if all things go on time, she's going to have her knee replacement, and that just means quicker that she's going to be out there working with me. So y'all keep her in prayers, and thank you for watching. And as always, give me a thumbs up, guys. I do appreciate it. And if you're not sub me. And because we always got something cool. We always got something informative. If it's not an actual hunt, it could be some instruction. As you kind of know, I'm leaning a little bit more towards that. I like to give tips out, and just to make it, helpful, just to help you out there. So happy hunting, and the main thing, be safe. Y'all have a blessed day.